Welcome. There are a few events coming up that involve the Gold Saucer, and I'm not going to get into that right now, but if you haven't, you might want to unlock it and the various minigames so that you are ready. Oh, and by the way, stay tuned to the end for a taste of Backwater J's latest parody project. So what is the Gold Saucer? The Manderville Gold Saucer is the hub for most minigames in the Final Fantasy XIV world, much like the Gold Saucer in Final Fantasy VII. Drawing inspiration from real-world casinos with scantily clad hostesses and gaudy decor, the Gold Saucer is more like a fancy arcade. Though there are similarities to casinos, there's very little that can be considered gambling. MGP, the currency used in the Gold Saucer, does not directly represent Gil, the coin of the realm. There are games that require MGP to play, and you can win MGP, but it is really hard to come out behind, as most games have a consolation prize or a minimum payout of some sort that exceeds the price of playing. Basically, the odds favor the player, not the house. This will be a tour of the Gold Saucer, pointing out many of the features and how to unlock the various games. This will not be an exhaustive guide to each game. This isn't hard to figure out, and is really just a matter of picking up the quests and doing what they say, but some things are easy to miss at the Gold Saucer. To unlock the Gold Saucer, you need to be at least level 15 in any class and have completed one of the 3 envoy quests in the MSQ. The quests you get will depend on which city you started in, and it unlocks the airships between the 3 major cities. If you don't know, the MSQ is the quest line that tells the main story of Final Fantasy XIV, and should be one of your main priorities in-game since it unlocks most content. Note, the MSQ is being reworked in the next patch, so this information may not be accurate soon. Since on a trial account you can get up to 35, you can go to the Gold Saucer and play all the minigames. Note that the level cap on the trial account will soon be raised to 60. Alright, start by either teleporting or taking an airship to Ul'dah. On the steps of Nald, look for the Well-Heeled Youth, nearly straight across from the Aetherite Plaza. To pick up the quest, It Could Happen to You. He tells you how great the Gold Saucer is, but apparently you need a golden ticket to use the airship, but he just so happens to have a spare one he is willing to give you. Make your way to the airship landing by going to the Aetherite and teleporting using the Aethernet. Turn in your ticket and you will be sent on your way. When you land, pick up the quest, World of Wonders. This quest will take you on a tour of the main floor of the Gold Saucer. Move up the hallway to the entrance square. Remember, in this game, this is a circle and this is a square. As you enter the square, turn to your left and attune to the first Aethernet shard. The Gold Saucer is a lot like a city in that it has an Aethernet network and its own Aetherite Plaza. Talk to the Gold Saucer attendant at the desk. He'll tell you a little bit about the Gold Saucer, MGP, and what's upstairs on the second floor, which we'll get to later. The Gold Saucer attendant to the right sells most of the items you can buy with MGP. Further to the right is the mini Cactpot broker, and he has the first of what might be called single-ended quests. You just talk to him for a bit and he gives you an MGP voucher and unlocks your first minigame. You can use that voucher now and get 100 MGP, which you can use to play the mini Cactpot game. The mini Cactpot is kinda like a lottery scratcher ticket. It costs 10 MGP to play, and since the minimum payout is 36, you can't lose. However, you can only play 3 tickets per day. Alright, now go and talk to Luina, sitting at the table at the back of the room, and pick up the quests Passion for Fashion and Every Little Thing She Does is Mahjong. Next, go talk to another Gold Saucer attendant.
Just to be clear, not this Gold Saucer attendant, nor this Gold Saucer attendant, this Gold Saucer attendant.
Thank you. This guy will exchange gil for MGP, but only if you have less than 500. Use this if you've spent all your MGP and don't have enough to play games. Head southwest into the card square and talk to the Triple Triad trader, and she will tell you about the card game Triple Triad. Triple Triad is a lot like the Triple Triad game in Final Fantasy VIII, with one main difference being you can't lose your cards. Talk to the Triple Triad Master to pick up the quest Triple Triad Trial. She'll tell you a little more about the game and gives you 5 cards. Use these to collect them. You will need to play a tutorial to really unlock the game. After this is unlocked, you will now see these symbols over NPCs throughout the world, indicating you can play Triple Triad against them. You can also challenge other players to a match if you like. You will see notifications in the log indicating which areas allow Triple Triad matches. Once you unlock this game, you start occasionally receiving cards as drops from various monsters, including many bosses. Many cards are personal loot, meaning they go straight into your inventory, but for some you will have to roll on them like gear. You can only collect each card once, but you may still get extra cards of that same type. When you do, double check that you have it by trying to use it. Then you can talk to the Triple Triad trader to sell them for MGP. Besides who we have met, there are a few other people of note in the entrance square. Over here is the Modern Aesthetics saleswoman who sells one hairstyle. And back here are a mender, the tapkeeper who sells food and drink and a few Gold Saucer housing items for Gil. And another Triple Triad trader who buys and sells cards just like the one in the card square. Continue northeast to the Aetherite Plaza and attune to it. There are 2 summoning bells here in case you need to do anything involving your retainers. Head south into the Wonder Square and talk to the gatekeeper there.
I didn't get your name.
name's Zul. I am the gatekeeper.
I guess let's talk about G.A.T.E.s. Gold Saucer active time events, G.A.T.E.s for short, are random little events that happen around the Gold Saucer. You will see announcements when they become active. Many of them are some form of jumping puzzle. But then there's Air Force One, which is a rail shooter. There are 3 gatekeepers around. If there is a gate active, they will offer to teleport you to the appropriate area. If there is no gate active, they will tell you about the next one coming up. Now, if you head just to your left, you see Monster Toss. This is a basketball shooting game. This is one of the many arcade games found throughout the Gold Saucer. These games are like the strength and dexterity challenges that you might see at an arcade or at a carnival, and each costs only 1 MGP to play. Wonder Square and Event Square have 2 levels. To quickly get up to the 2nd level, there are water spouts that will shoot you up into the air to land safely on the upper level. Take the spout near the gatekeeper and you end up next to the next Aether Shard and the Manderville Lounge. The Manderville Lounge is just a little RP area where you can sit and talk. It also features a golden statue of the owner. Run all the way around to the Manderville tables and attune to the Aetherite. Turn in every little thing she does as Mahjong with the Mahjong tutor, and she'll tell you a little bit about the game and throw shade on your culture. I don't really understand Mahjong, but I know the novice games give you suggestions. If you need help, the tutor can tell you all the rules. Drop down right below the Aethernet shard, and you should see a familiar face, hidden behind a mask. Turn in the quest Passion for Fashion with Masked Rose to learn about the fashion report. This weekly event can give you as much as 60,000 MGP. Starting on Tuesday, you can view the hints. You can then present yourself for judging between Friday and Monday. Be sure to speak to Kasumi before you leave. She sells some dyes and other items that are unlocked the more you participate. Follow the path to the northeast to the event square and attune to the Aethernet shard dead ahead. Turn around and go up the nearby stairs. Turn south and find another shard. Go into the alcove and talk to Valita to find out about the event square. When she's done talking, pick up and complete the quest hitting the Cactpot for another voucher of 100 MGP. Jumbo Cactpot is your basic weekly lottery. During the week, you can choose up to 3 4-digit numbers. Numbers are drawn on Saturday, and winnings can be claimed for up to a week after that. Drop down and take the northwest path to Round Square. Turn to your right and attune to the Aethernet. Turn back around and talk to the gatekeeper for some info on the Round Square, and then she sends you back to the information desk in the entrance square. And you'll be pleased, cause you're meeting the manager, Roland. He'll tell you all about Godbert Manderville's dream. Then he gives you 5 gold saucer tickets. Though these look like the vouchers, they are not the same thing. They let you play any of the arcade games for free. You know, all those games that cost only 1 MGP. Though it is mentioned, the tour does not take you up to the 2nd floor. So go talk to Saethrith, the lift operator, to go up to the 2nd floor. Though this floor is called Chocobo Square, there are 2 roughly circular squares up here. Turn right and run into the Minion Square. On the left is the Aethernet Crystal. In this room you can play Lord of Verminion. Lord of Verminion is a real-time strategy game where your units are minions in your collection. There are no quests to unlock this game, but you must have at least 3 minions to play. You must do the first 2 Verminion challenges to unlock the game. There are a few helpful NPCs on the east wall. Of special note is the Minion Trader, who sells a selection of minions for either gil or MGP. The gil minions are the same 3 sold by traders in the main cities like Misc and Gridania. The MGP minions are the same ones sold downstairs by the prize claim guy. If you get up here and find you don't have enough minions to play, you can purchase them right here. Question is, what is Verminion? Is it a play on the color vermilion? Or maybe it's a minion only red mages can use. Anyway, wander over to the Chocobo Square, where you will find the last Aethernet shard. If you have been attuning to all the crystals, you should get a message telling you that you have attuned to all the Aethernet shards. If you missed one, you will want to go back and see which ones you may have missed. Unlike cities, there are no additional destinations unlocked, like exits or the airship landing. Notice there is another summoning bell here. So go talk to the Chocobo Registrar and pick up the quest, So You Want to Be a Jockey. Even if you have your Chocobo mount, you will not be able to use it to race. You need to obtain a racing Chocobo. Well, its birth certificate, at Bent Branch Meadows in the Central Shroud. If you've been there, you may be able to just teleport. Otherwise, head downstairs to the airship landing. Notice you can now travel to all 3 main cities from the Gold Saucer, and vice versa. Take the airship to Gridania, leave through the Blue Badger Gate to the Central Shroud, and ride down to Bent Branch Meadows. Speak to Catering, the race Chocobo breeder, and select whether you want a boy or a girl, and complete the quest. Then pick up the quest So You Think You Can Ride This Chocobo. Make your way back to the Gold Saucer and Chocobo Square to turn in your quest. Speak with the race Chocobo trainer and hand over your registration. You'll have to name your Chocobo using only approved words. Go back to the registrar and do the tutorial race. When you complete that, you will be able to race for real. I think that's it. Did I miss anything? If you don't understand a game, there is usually somebody nearby to tell you more about the particular game. So don't be afraid to ask or click on the nearest NPC. Once unlocked, you don't have to come to the Gold Saucer to play many of these games. In the Duty Finder, there is an entire section devoted to the Gold Saucer. If you did everything I mentioned, you should see duties for the Triple Triad, Lord of Verminion, Chocobo Racing, and even Mahjong. In the challenge log, there is an entire section of weekly challenges that reward thousands of MGP. There is also an entire section of achievements under the character section that give you some nice rewards. Finally, in the character menu, select Gold Saucer to see all the important information like your total MGP, what numbers you picked in the Cactpot, info on your racing chocobo, your card collection, and your standings in various tournaments. So what about those upcoming events? On August 19th, a new version of the much maligned Yokai Watch event begins. This event requires you to be level 15 and up to the same point in the MSQ. All of the minions and weapons are purchased from someone in the Gold Saucer, so you will likely be returning here several times during the run of this event. If you are interested in playing Lord of Verminion, this event is a good way to greatly increase your minion collection. Just so you know, though the various minions and weapons are related to the various jobs, you do not have to unlock and level those jobs like you did for Garo. The Make It Rain campaign, which also has the same requirements, is the annual event that primarily exists to promote the Gold Saucer. It was delayed by the current situation and will be coming in October. During this event, there is a 50% increase to all winnings from Gold Saucer games. This would be a good time to stock up on the Jackpot FC actions or Gold Saucer VIP cards you get from squadron missions. There is often also a discount on various items at the Gold Saucer. It was recently stated they do in fact intend to bring back the Final Fantasy XV event in the future, but no date has been set. This event requires you to be level 50 and to have completed the main story up to the quest The Ultimate Weapon. The Regalia mount and other items related to this event are sold by a special NPC in the Gold Saucer for MGP. I recommend working on getting at least 230,000 MGP in preparation for this event. The Manderville Gold Saucer is, of course, based on the Gold Saucer from Final Fantasy VII. There are several similarities, such as names of the various squares, a plethora of minigames, Chocobo Racing, and the fact that chocobos are raised at a faraway farm. As I mentioned before, Triple Triad is based on Triple Triad from Final Fantasy VIII. The founder and owner of the Gold Saucer, Godbert Manderville, though rarely seen at the Gold Saucer, makes frequent appearances in seasonal events and a few side quests. Anyway, I intend to do more in-depth guides about the games and items available at the Gold Saucer. If there is anything about the Gold Saucer you would like to see a guide on, please comment below. And don't forget to like and subscribe. Goodbye.